Alright, so we have yet another faceless coward. A complete moron. Another loser who's, pretending to be something they're not, hiding their true identity, in order to try to bash me, shame me, put me down. So let's see what this clown has to say. As far as like appreciating the little things in life, it's not impossible, but it's like, okay, warm place to stay. Great. You know, a couple other things, job, money. Okay, that's it. I know it's more than some people have. I know it's more than I've had in the past, but here's what happened with my life. There's this whole structure I wanted to climb. And I was at the very bottom, meaning that I didn't even have the basic stuff. I didn't even have shelter or food. I was homeless and starving, right? So I went up a level. I got my shelter and my basic needs taken care of. And then stayed stuck at that spot and didn't move up at all. Didn't climb up at all for the last 10 years.
Alright. That's all I need you guys to hear. That's enough of this whining. So, he's essentially admitting why he's in the position that he's in. He's admitting it. He's admitting that he's at the bottom. And he's remained there for the last 10 years and he hasn't done anything in the last 10 years.
Now, right off the bat, this guy has completely taken what I've said out of context, completely misrepresented everything I've been talking about, right? And now, as stupid as this guy is, he's not that stupid. He's deliberately misrepresenting what I'm saying to mean something else. To mean that I haven't done any work or that I haven't tried. When the reality is that I have done painstaking amounts of work in my life. I have grinded away for the last 11 years, trying my hardest to get myself up out of the position that I was in. And you know what? I have finally succeeded at it. Finally done it. But for the longest time I was frustrated because, not because I wasn't doing any work, not because, like he tries to say, I was sitting on my ass and just doing nothing and complaining about it. Because that's what these fucking pathetic losers, that's how they try to portray people like me. You know? And we'll get to that. We'll get more into what this elitist shitbag, the way he views the world, his worldview. Because people like him are a dime a dozen. He's just another fucking Peter Schiff, Steven Crowder clone. You know, one of those people who thinks anybody who lives in poverty or who isn't successful in life is a loser, is lazy, and doesn't try. And you know what? I'm willing to bet money that I've worked harder than he ever has. I have done more work than he ever has. I have had to work a hell of a lot harder for less than he ever has. But anyway, so this guy, right off the bat, what a scumbag. completely misrepresenting everything I've been saying on this channel. And he knows this. Because if you watch my videos, you see the level of work I put in. I am not a lazy person. I'm a hard worker. I always have been. But yeah, let's move on. Let's see what else he has to say.
How in the hell do you expect to compete in today's market when this is how you're behaving?
See, this is how shallow this guy is. You know, he's got such a remarkably narrow and small-minded view of things that he sees everything as a market. Everything to him is just numbers on a balance sheet. He's just got this fucking corporate mindset. Like, bro, there is a whole universe out there. Go look through a telescope. Go look at nature. You know? Go experience life. Jesus Christ.
You know, and this is how you deal with your problems. You just stay there. You've stagnated for 10 years. There are other guys out there, they're willing to do what it takes to get what they want. You're not.
What the fuck are you talking about, bro? I just said I was homeless, you know? You've seen in the earlier part of the video, I talked about being homeless, starving. And I worked my ass off to get out from that position, to have a decent place to live, to have money, you know, to be in a comfortable position. I've gotten all the things that were attainable, right? At the time, my biggest problem was being in the TFL situation, was not being able to find a woman, because you can't earn a woman. You can't earn a woman like you can money. Money you can go out there and earn. Material possessions you can go out there and buy. A woman is a human being who can make her own decisions. You know, that was my problem at the time. So obviously I was willing to do what it takes to get the things I want. But the one thing I couldn't get is something you can't just force to happen. It's something you can't work for. It's something you can't earn your way towards. And I love how he's completely dismissive of all the hardships I've been through and all the disadvantages I've had to overcome. Like, this dude would not last a day in my shoes. And he's talking about, I'm not willing to do what it takes. Let me tell you something, bitch. I had to do what it took just to eat. You don't even know how mentally strong you have to be a kid, and you're out there on your own, on the streets, with no parents, nobody, no family, nowhere to turn, no one to turn to. Yeah, this guy doesn't know anything about that. He sounds like one of these scary little white soy boys, you know, never been in the streets a day in his life, wouldn't even set foot in the hood, couldn't even set foot in the hood. His scary ass wouldn't dare to, you know, and if he did, he'd get fucking robbed. Oh yeah, I did what it took to eat. Learned to cook crack. I was out there in some dangerous places, in the projects, fucking death traps, doing what I had to do to survive. And I'm not proud of that. And this is another person, see, he'll judge me and make me out to be some kind of a scumbag because I was a kid and there was literally no other choice. I had to eat. I was going hungry. and I had to do whatever it took to survive. You can tell this dude has never been through any real struggles in life. That he came from a nice, stable family, a nice middle-class existence, and glided through life, having doors open for him, being supported by his family, having all kinds of resources available to him. You know, he didn't have to claw his way out of the gutter, fighting tooth and nail. Which is what makes the things he's about to say especially rich. Coming from him. This guy's telling me this shit. Me. This guy. He's saying this shit to me. He's lecturing me about things I know way more than he ever will about. This dude would not last a day in my shoes. I said it before, I'll say it again. And I'll probably be saying it a lot in this video.
And that's one thing that people have to realize. That's one thing that you have to realize, that what is the benchmark? What are people willing to do to get the result that they want? You see, this guy, he has that entitlement complex where he feels that I am entitled. I am entitled to a female. I'm entitled to reproduce my seed.
See, this is what pisses me off about these normies, you know, these male feminists. And make no mistake, this guy is a male feminist. No matter how much he tries to masquerade himself as some sort of anti-feminist, you know, red pill male empowerment guru or whatever the fuck he tries to portray himself as, is that they call you entitled when you expect your hard work and sacrifices to pay off. You know, the hard work that he's trying to say that I didn't do. Yeah. See, this is what happens. Guys like me, any guy that's ever been in my situation, right? We're told, if we're just honest, decent guys, we work hard in life, we treat a woman with respect, you know, become the kind of loyal, caring, reliable guy that women say they want, that will get a woman. And then when we realize we were fucking lied to about that, then these dickheads turn around and call us entitled for having the expectation that doing the very thing society told us we should do to find love, to find a woman, and have a family will yield the results they said it would. And then when we turn around after doing everything that we were supposed to do in the eyes of society, becoming everything these women say they want, we're called entitled? Get the fuck out of here with that shit.
No, that's not true. It's easier now to reproduce your seed than it was generations past, according to what the science says. You know, his ancestors had to fight to continue their genetic line so that he would come into existence. They had to fight. They had to fight to make sure that their genes are passed to the next generation. Is he doing that?
I love how this guy points to ancient times where things were very tough and brutal, as if he's some kind of, you know, super masculine warrior. Bitch, if DoorDash went out of business, you would starve to death. You are a white-collar soy boy bitch. The only thing you ever dominated was a corporate boardroom. If even that. Shit. At best, you're some fucking basement dweller who trades cryptocurrency. The fuck you talking about? Like, you're not the guy to lecture anybody on this shit, bitch. The fuck you mean? And like, I'll address what he said too about, supposedly it's easier nowadays to pass on your seed than it was in ancient times. Well, yes, it's true that we don't have to fight, you know, like when times were more primitive, tribal, and animalistic to pass our seeds on. Well, he doesn't anyway. I mean, I actually had to fight throughout my life to even survive and to protect my woman. You don't realize in the hood, you gotta fight motherfuckers. When you're walking home and somebody tries to hit on your girl and grab your fucking girl right in front of you, you gotta fight. I doubt you ever been through that in your life. You will piss your pants. You would probably run and leave your woman right there. Fucking bitch. Pussy ass, scary ass little soy boy. Who the fuck you talking to? Anyhow. So yes, it was tougher in the sense that you did have to fight to pass your seed on. Or at least you had to fight for survival, to protect your woman and your family and whatever else. But at the same time, social media didn't exist back then. So now, instead of going for a protector and provider, which women had to do to survive in those times, they can just go for the most physically, genetically superior looking guy. Chad Rome. You know, the most attractive guy. Because they have access to those guys through social media and dating apps. Any one of these bitches can post a picture, even an average, even a below average chick, and get like 500 to 1,000 likes. That's thousands of simps trying to get at them. So all they got to do is filter through all those guys and find the most attractive one. It's so fucking easy for women nowadays. I even set up a dating profile as a woman. And within hours, my inbox was full. Even with, you know, Chad's inboxing my profile. So yeah, in one sense, it's less brutal, less harsh. We don't have the hunter-gatherer tribal society we once had where we have to fight for our survival. But at the same time, we have so much competition because of social media that we can just get filtered out and we won't even be seen. Guys like me don't even exist to these women. So it really doesn't matter what we bring to the table because we won't even have a chance to show it. I mean, we won't even be seen.
Is he fighting? Is he trying? No. He's not even trying. He's not willing to try. Because this victim mentality is telling him, I'm a victim, I'm a victim, I'm a victim. No, you're not a victim, you're just a loser.
Now, first off, this is that bullshit. That normie bullshit where, like, no matter what happens to you in your life, they completely dismiss it like it never happened, right? And they say, oh, you're playing the victim. You have a victim mentality. This is so fucking stupid because, like, literally, they're dismissive of everything and anything that you've gone through in life. Like, Okay, for example, if you get mugged, are you not the victim of a crime? If a woman gets raped, is she not the victim of rape? I mean, like, the fuck are you talking about? Like, I have been through tragedies and hardships. One of which, if you had to go through one of the many things that I've experienced, you would rope, bro. You wouldn't even be mentally strong enough to survive one of the tragedies I've experienced. I've experienced a whole lifetime of tragedies and hardships and overcome disadvantages you don't even know exist. Because you've never had to experience this shit. I fought more in a day than you have in your whole life. And you know, what pisses me off about people like this, right? Is like, who the fuck are you to lecture me on this shit? Like, that's like coming back from war, a veteran, coming back from being in the trenches, being out there, you know, having fucking bombs dropped on you, getting shot at, and coming back and having some fucking couch potato have the nerve to lecture you and mock your combat experience, your experience at war, because they sat on their couch playing Call of Duty. And they're gonna sit there and tell you about war. Tell you you're not a real soldier. You're not even a soldier. That you're a bitch. When you're coming back with PTSD, because let me tell you something, I have PTSD. I watched my wife die in front of me. I've seen friends of mine shot and killed right in front of me. I saw my friend get stabbed in the neck and die right in front of me. That's just a few of the things that I've experienced. People get PTSD from seeing shit like that. People in the military have to be treated for PTSD for experiencing shit like that. Now, I've never been to war, but what do you see in war? You see your buddies get shot and killed in front of you. I seen that shit. I really experienced that shit. I came from an abusive home. My parents used drugs, beat the shit out of me. My dad almost killed me a few times. I really thought I was gonna die, and I was just a little kid. Now I've overcome all these things. And under the circumstances, considering what I've been through, considering the typical outcome of people that have experienced what I have, I've done remarkably well. There's plenty of studies and data that shows the trajectory of people that have been through, that have come from abusive households, abusive parents. They tend to end up in prison. A high percentage of them end up becoming drug addicts. Yeah, and this fucking guy's calling me a loser hiding behind his keyboard. There's a reason for that. Because he's a loser. He's a loser. See, he's not gonna show his face or his life because he's a goofy looking motherfucker. You know, he doesn't have the balls to show his face. His little thin skin couldn't handle the ridicule. And he's pretty much hiding his identity so he can pretend to be whatever he wants. You know, he wants to make himself out to be the successful Chad. Dude, you're a nobody. You're a fucking loser. You're a keyboard warrior. Same with that Charlie Dose bitch, or whatever the fuck his name is. You know, those little faggot ass, fake ass Ray-Ban sunglasses. You know, and his gorilla looking haircut. You know, he got his picture from the neck up to hide his beer belly. Trying to look like some Chad. Dude, you are all fucking losers. You're bozos. You don't get any women. You don't get shit. You get no pussy. You got no respect. You're bums. You're nobodies. All you can do is hang out in my comments and troll because you got nothing better to do because you got no lives. And what's his name? Unreal Man? Oh, fuck. Nobody even watches your channel. The only videos that get any views are you making videos on other more famous incels. It's fucking pathetic, man. You're a joke.
I said this in my video Victims vs Losers. We have to know the difference between a victim and a loser. This man right here you're looking at is a loser. He's not willing to compete. He's not willing to say, you know what, I'm gonna do what it takes. And it's not through any, it's not that he cannot try. He can, but he's not willing to do it.
Do what? I mean, you speak in these vague terms like you're not even talking, you're not even saying anything, bro. Do what? Do what it takes for what? To get what? Exactly. First of all, I'm not a materialistic person, right? So, I don't need a garage full of luxury cars. I don't want that shit. So I'm not going to grind away for it. I'm not going to stress myself out to obtain things I don't even want, that aren't the source of happiness in life, that aren't going to bring me any kind of happiness or satisfaction in my life. That's not even what I want. So what are you talking about? See, in his eyes, anybody who's not Jeff Bezos is a loser. You know, because he's got such a narrow, like this conservative corporate view of everything, you know, where there's only one path to take. You know, but in reality, there's millions of things you can be in life, you know? There's people who are architects. There's people who are singers. There's people who are fighters. There's people who are fucking professional swimmers, for fuck's sake. There's pilots, truck drivers, construction workers. You know, all these things matter in this world. And you're not a loser if you have one of those other professions. You know, he's one of these elitist snobs that thinks anybody who's, you know, blue collar or working class is a loser. You know, that's another thing. That's another sort of Western mindset that we have. But yo, who do you think builds your homes? Who do you think paves the roads? Who do you think delivers your food to you? You know, it's just, this guy's a fucking idiot. And he really thinks he's smart. That's the funny part.
You know, this is a guy who's filled with bad habits. This is a guy who's lazy. This is a guy who just doesn't have what it takes.
Who the fuck are you calling lazy? See, and now this bitch is just flat out lying. Because I know he watches my videos. Alright, does a lazy person get up at 4 in the morning to go do roofing? To go haul 3 bundles of shingles up a 3-story house, up to the roof, to work in the baking hot sun? Leaving at 4 a.m. and coming back home at 10 p.m. Does someone who's lazy work 90 hours a week. I've spent most of my life doing hard labor. And that's another thing, right? You know, these people are always like, oh, well, you should have done X, Y, and Z. You know, I'm working sometimes 6, 7 days a week. Hard labor, doing roofing, doing construction. I'm leaving at 4 in the morning and not coming back till 10 p.m., sometimes 11, right? But in that span of time, I was supposed to also start up a Fortune 500 company and become the fucking Wolf of Wall Street or something, right? That's what it is. That's what I was supposed to do. I'm not supposed to sleep, right? The fuck out of here. I have 2 worn out discs in my back. My vertebrae are grinding together. Because I worked so hard doing so much heavy lifting and hard labor throughout my life that I wore my fucking vertebrae out. I wore my fucking discs down. My vertebrae are like overlapping. You can see it in the x-rays. Fucking dumbass. I'm lazy. Bro, what the fuck did you ever do, bitch? I know you ain't even done half the work I have. I don't even think you could lift a fucking piece of sheetrock, to be honest. Let alone carry them upstairs all day. The fuck out of here, I'm lazy. You dumb bitch. I work harder than you ever will. I'll work harder in a fucking day. Put more work in a day than you have in your whole life, I would bet that. Fucking bitch. What's worse is like, so many of my videos, I don't even have time to make, to edit proper videos like a lot of YouTubers do, right? Because if you see my videos, I make most of my videos in the car on my way from one job to another, to my second job. If I'm so lazy, why do I have 2 jobs? Why do I work 80, 90 hours a week? Fuck out of here, man.
You know, other men out there will do what they need to do. They will do it. They will do it. It means so much to you, but yet you're not willing to go out there and make the necessary changes and sacrifices.
Which is what exactly? There he goes again, talking in these vague terms, but he never says what all that necessary work and sacrifices actually are. Because he doesn't know. Because he's never done it. Because he's just trying to make it seem like he has all the answers when he's never done any of the shit that he's talking about. You know?
See, the thing is with this guy is that he's unhappy. He's suffering. Well, you're gonna suffer anyway. So you might as well suffer doing something that's gonna actually benefit you in the future, as opposed to suffering because you're too much of a lazy. And you know, the reality of these guys is that it's not just laziness, they're scared, they're cowards. This guy is terrified. He's terrified of competition. You know, he's terrified of failure.
The fuck you... Yo, who you calling a coward, you fucking bitch? Bro, you're a coward. You're too much of a coward to even show your face, number one. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. You are a straight up pussy bitch. Let me tell you something about myself. I've talked about it before, but I'll mention it again. When I was 16, I was selling drugs for the Colombian cartel. Going out there, knowing that I would have to kill someone if they tried to rob me, because the Colombians would cut my fucking tongue out if I lost the package. I grew up being the only white boy in my hood, only white boy in my school, getting my ass beat having to fight day in, day out. People tried to rob me. I wouldn't give up my shit. So I got jumped and fought 5 people on my own. You're gonna call me a coward? You're gonna say I'm scared? Of what? I'm not afraid of nobody. None of you motherfuckers. And I'm talking about some real scary motherfuckers in jail, in the streets. So how the fuck am I scared of competition? What competition are you even talking about? That's this fucking, over-competitive bullshit, Western mindset, fucking wannabe Wolf of Wall Street. Always having a dick measuring contest with the next man because they think that's how they prove how masculine they are. I'm an alpha male. I'm competitive. Look at me competing with the next man. This is the type of guy that'll try to have a dick measuring contest with somebody over nothing, like, when you used to at a bar having drinks or something, right? He'll be that guy trying to assert his dominance and everything, right? And I'll punch somebody like that in the face. Dead ass. And how can I be terrified of failure? Motherfucker, I literally been to rock bottom in life and bounced back. Motherfucker, I've been dragged to hell with demons. You don't even fucking know. You couldn't even imagine where I've been in life.
That's the thing with him. He's terrified of it. He goes on later on in this video say, I don't want to be around other men. I don't want to hang around with the bros. Well, first of all, I don't think any decent guys want to hang around with you. We've seen the guys that you're hanging around with. The scum of society. That's who you're around, and you won't even deny that because you've said that yourself.
Yeah, when I was talking about the scum of society, I was referring to people like you. Judgmental scumbags whose only purpose is to put others down to boost their own self-image. Because let's be real, that's all you do. All you do is try to bash and shame incels, and fuck the incels too. I sure as hell got no love for them. I don't got any love for any of you. Actually, really what I was talking about, it's not that I hang around with scumbags. I'm a loner for a reason, you fucking idiot. Jesus Christ. This guy's a fucking dumbass. He completely... I've explained this so many times. I'm a loner. I choose not to be around people because people are scumbags. It's not that I'm around scumbags because good people don't want to hang around with me. It's just what you consider good people are actually scumbags. You're a scumbag. Right? See, I guess good people to you is anybody with money. It doesn't matter how much it... See, it could be complete scumbags because it's not about your character with people like this. No, it's about how much money you have, what's in your wallet, what's in your bank account. Your money and status. That's all that matters to him. So, if you've got money and status, that makes you a good people. If that makes you good people. If you're if you're blue collar, working class, then you're automatically a scumbag. And actually, I've talked about this in depth. I've been around a lot of good people. Most of them are dead. I've lost a lot of good friends. Some of them are still around. And there's still very respectable people out there. Better people than you'll ever be. That think very highly of me. I guarantee I'm more respected by more respectable people than you will ever be. And what the fuck do you even contribute to society? What do you even do that's positive for this world, that makes this world a better place, who do you help? You know, I've spent my life involved in activism, volunteer work, community fundraising for, like, for example, when they had the earthquake in Haiti. Before I launched this channel, I had a popular blog. You know, I was actually a pretty well-known blogger back in the day. That was years ago. And, you know, I used my blog for charity, for fundraising, to help the victims of the earthquake in Haiti and other disasters that had happened at the time. You know what I'm saying? And I have to bring stuff like this up because people like this piece of shit will always try to smear my character and make me out to be some sort of a lowlife, when I'm a much better person than he will ever be. You know, I'm so sick and tired of these people making me out to be some sort of a lowlife scumbag, you know, when I'm actually a very good person. And I have to say that. I have to defend my character because these people keep fucking lying about me constantly, you know. And yeah, you're a piece of shit. You're a scumbag. You're a loser. You're a faceless nobody behind a keyboard that's trying to make videos to smear me, to put me down, to boost your own self-image, to portray yourself as this, you know, alpha male, red pill Chad that's super successful. Bro, you're a fucking loser. You're not fooling anybody. Well, maybe your dumbass subscribers buy into your bullshit.
You know, but that's the truth. That's the truth about this guy. He's very low value, and he refuses to say, you know what, I'm willing to increase my value. You know, he talks about, oh, all this stuff, you know, it means nothing to me. Yeah, the only thing that means something to me is a woman. Well, guess what? It means something to women. Your possessions mean something to women.
Well, there you have it. You have another one of these guys that has bought into this idea, you know, in modern Western society, that if you're not Elon Musk, you're not worthy of a woman, period. Right? Now, first of all, he calls me a low-value man. I'm cool with that. I'm a working-class dude. There's nothing wrong with that. And that shouldn't be a disqualifier when it comes to getting a woman. Right? There's something very wrong with society. There's something very wrong with these women, if that's the case. Right, now let's get into this, because there's a lot to unpack here. Right? Now, for one thing, I doubt this motherfucker is a high-value man. What are you, a fucking millionaire, bro? No, you're not. You're a fucking bozo on YouTube. You know? If you were a high-value man, you wouldn't be wasting any time responding to my videos and making videos about incels. You're not a high-value man, bro. You yourself are a low-value man pretending to be a high-value man. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Alright? Now, you know, he says, well, women do care about your possessions. Not any woman that's worth having. This guy is so cucked, right? He doesn't realize that the best he will ever be is a beta bucks. No woman will ever want him for who he is. You know, and he's dumb enough to think that his possessions make him attractive to women. No. She's not attracted to you. She just wants your shit, bro. That's it. She doesn't give a fuck about you. Right? And this is the problem with these Western women, with these modern day Western women. You know, they're a bunch of materialistic gold diggers. And it's funny, it's so ironic that they say, oh, your girl's a scam artist. Oh, she's from Africa. All she wants is money. Yet even this guy is admitting it right here. That all these American women want is money. Or Western women, because I'm pretty sure he's not even from this country. Western women. You know, and a guy like this will probably be the first to call my girl a scam artist. Right? Because they can't handle the fact that a woman is actually attracted to me. And no woman is actually attracted to them. I mean, they have to become high value men just to beta bucks for some worthless whore. You know what I'm saying? It's a fucking joke. You're pathetic. All you're doing is getting yourself an overpriced prostitute. That's it. All right? Any woman that isn't willing to get with you when you're broke is not worth having. You need a woman that is willing to build with you from the bottom. And that's what my wife was. We were building together. We started our own business. Well, I mean, I already had my own business. She helped me build my business further. And I helped her build hers. We worked together building each other up. You know, that's a real woman right there. Everything is all ass backward and toxic in Western society, and these women are garbage. Nothing but a bunch of materialistic gold diggers. And if I'm not what these women want, then I'm doing something right. Because these are not the women that I want.
What you do for a living means something to women. So if you don't want to admit that it means something to women, and admit that you being a low value male on the market, okay, you being a low value male on the market means that you don't get to call the shots. You can't call the shots as a low value male on the market. You want to become successful? You want to be in the driving seat? Then go out and become successful.
Yup, become Jeff Bezos or die alone.
Then you're gonna have at least some pick of the litter. But you being in the position that you're in, you have to play with their game to a certain degree. You're not willing to do that either. So at the end of the day, there's no hope for this guy. He's gonna die in the position that he's in.
Well, this didn't age well.
He's gonna die in the position that he's in right now, because at the end of the day, it's a competition. It is a competition. You're competing. You're competing. Who can get the women? Who can get the money? Who can get the resources? Who can get the power? You're failing on all fronts. You know? And it's not always the guy with the money, with the resources that's gonna get the females. You know? But guys who are successful, they're not making videos like this. Guys who are successful, they're doing a hell of a lot better than you. You know, the normies, another thing. You want to talk about how much you despise and how much you hate normies, but yet you want a normie woman.
What the fuck are you talking about? I've never wanted a normie woman. I can't stand normie women. One of my biggest problems was that's all I could find. Is normie women. There were even normie women that were willing to give me a shot. I couldn't fucking stand them. They were so goddamn boring. They can't even hold a conversation. They're fucking NPCs. You know, every one of their goddamn dating profiles reads like, I like to have fun. I like to eat. I like to try new things. I like to travel. It's all the fucking same. They're so goddamn boring. You know, have you ever tried talking to one of them? Jesus Christ. No, I've never wanted a normie woman. Ever. I've never been looking for a normie woman. I've been looking for a woman that's not a normie. My wife was not a normie. My wife was very different. Even the girls that I've dated, you know, that girl that was a DJ, um, she was very out there. She was very different. She was a horrible person, but she was interesting. She was creative, intelligent, and, you know, had some interesting things to talk about. I could actually at least have a conversation with her, and, you know, her mind actually goes to some interesting places. You know what I mean? Like, I've never wanted a normie woman. What the fuck are you talking about?
You want to be with a normie, you know. So you despise normies because you can't get one. You can't get a normie female.
No, I despise normies because they're borderline retarded and they're horrible people. What makes you think I can't get with a normie female? I've been with normie females, you moron. Shit, this video was only made a year ago. He fucking knows this. I was just with a normie female right before that. She's a piece of shit. Horrible. Horrible experience.
It's nobody's fault that you can't get what you desire. You know, you have to understand that life is suffering for most people. You think I don't suffer? Everybody suffers.
Bro, you don't know shit about suffering. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Bro, you bitch made. You little normies like to talk about, oh, everybody has their ups and downs. Like, you ain't been through no real shit, bro. You ain't been through no real shit. You ain't been through no real struggles. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Yo, I can fucking tell by your videos, you know, by everything that you say, you know, that you had it easy your whole life. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Talking about everybody suffers. Yeah, most people don't go through what I did. Most people don't. Some people's lives are unique. Some people's lives are worse than others. Worse than average. That's just how it happens to be. That's just how it is, you know? I mean, there's people who have even worse lives than I do. Who had it even harder than I did. You know what I'm saying? And that's crazy, but it's true. You know? A lot of you motherfuckers got it easy and you don't even realize it. Because you've never lived like me. Don't even try to say that you have.
But you suffer in order to get to the next level. See, this guy is willing to suffer for nothing. Because he's going to suffer forever. And he's never going to get what he wants because he's not willing to put the work in. This entitlement complex, this entitlement that he has to go. Has to go. You know? Has to absolutely go. Somebody has to put it to an end. You know, his immaturity. I mean, this guy is 35 years old. 35. You know what he says in this video? He's like, I just want a woman. And he said, I just want a bitch to watch movies with. 35 years old, and this is mentality? I want a bitch to watch movies with? What are you, 14?
What are you, 14? That's like these normies' only fucking insult. What are you, 14? What does watching movies have to do with your age, you fucking moron? Now let me give some context to me saying that. I was saying that because at that point, I had pretty much given up on finding a woman that could understand me on a deeper level, you know, that I could have a real connection with, because these women are so fucking boring and shallow and don't have any personalities, that pretty much finding what I wanted, what I needed from a woman seemed impossible, because American women just can't live up to that. There's no fucking way. They're just way too dumb, way too shallow, you know. So connecting with a woman on any kind of a profound level seemed impossible to me at the time. So I was like, fuck it, I just want a woman to watch movies with at this point. I'll settle for that, you know? So this idiot's like, are you 14? Are you 14? Bitch, I was more of a man than you are when I was 16. And I'm more of a man than you'll ever be. Fuck out of here with that shit. Little bitch. Suck a dick.
I mean, it's just pathetic, man. I mean, there's nothing attractive about this guy. He goes on to say, oh, women reject me because of my looks. Even if you detach his looks, is there anything attractive about him?
Now, let me explain something again, because this guy's a fucking moron, right? First of all, I'm willing to bet that I'm better looking than you, right? I'm better looking than you, and I mog you in every possible way, and I'm more attractive than you in every possible way. But when I talk about my looks, that's not to say that I'm a bad looking guy. No. I'm talking about the out of control hypergamy with Western women, where their standards are so fucking high that even a decent looking guy, even an attractive guy, even a guy with a lot to offer is not good enough for them. Even though these women ain't shit. And they don't bring half of what the fucking guy offers to the table. You know? These women don't bring half of what the fucking guy they're rejecting does. You know? These women are fucking fat, ugly, dumb as fuck. You know? Got the personality of a piece of damp cardboard. You know? And I'm trying to prove that I'm worthy of these women. That's why I'm pissed. That's why I was pissed off anyway. I don't give a fuck now, because I don't got to deal with these stupid hoes, because I got a real fucking amazing woman, you know?
Is there anything attractive about him?
Well, let's see. I have these beautiful blue eyes, a great jawline, got these amazing, really cool tattoos. They look badass. I'm highly intelligent. I have a great sense of humor. I'm well-traveled. I'm cultured. I make amazing music. I'm very loyal. I know how to treat a woman. I'm really good in bed. I'm excellent at satisfying women. I'm a great kisser. I'm charming. I am highly articulate. I know what I want in life. I know what's going on in the world. I'm very socially conscious. Let's see. I mean, I could go on. Like, there are a lot of things that are very attractive about me. I mean, these women are always complaining that they can't find a man like me. Yet when they meet a guy like me, oh, no, ew. Because the thing is, what women say they want and what they actually want are two very different things, you know? They say they want a nice guy with a great sense of humor, who knows how to treat a woman. Well, in reality, they want a 6'4" Chad douchebag, complete asshole, you know, who's gonna beat them, cheat on them, treat them like absolute garbage. And then they'll cry about how they can't find a good man, you know. But yeah, I'm actually everything women say they want. You know? Women are always complaining that they can't find a guy who, you know, in their own words, wants anything more than sex. I mean, that's the one I hear the most. They can't even find a guy that wants anything other than sex. All men care about is sex. So, I care about more than sex. I care about a lot of things. I have a lot of amazing qualities. You know, just because women don't appreciate them doesn't mean they don't exist. That just means these women have bad taste. What you're trying to say is that I'm just not good enough for these women. I'm getting rejected because there's nothing attractive about me. If I'm so unattractive, then why is it that I was able to get with some very high quality women? You know, I was married to a very beautiful woman, well educated, came from a good family, didn't sleep around. She didn't leave me, by the way. The only reason I was single was because she died. Not because no woman wanted me, you stupid motherfucker. That's what you normie fags always leave out, you know. Because you try to portray me as some completely undesirable, low-value piece of trash. And oops, yeah, I had a really fucking beautiful woman that you couldn't even get. And not to mention my first relationship, also a long-term relationship, somebody I was with for 5 years. We're not together anymore, but she was a model and singer. She is a model and singer, actually, still to this day. She's actually a successful singer now. You know, her career was just taking off back then. And we still talk. She still thinks very highly of me. You know, we can't be together. She lives in the UK. But she actually wanted to get back with me recently, you know. Okay, and now I have a really amazing woman, beautiful woman, loves me to death. And I have other women hitting on me in real life and sliding in my DMs on Instagram. You know, so if I'm so unattractive, why have I been able to get better women than you ever could? In fact, let's see some receipts. Let's see the women you've been with. I got receipts. You know, my ex is even on my Instagram. We still talk. Well, the real question is there anything attractive about you? I mean, I know you must be an ugly, goofy-looking motherfucker because that's why you don't show your face. If you were attractive physically, you would show your face. The only people that don't show their faces are ugly. That's why Banana doesn't show her face. You know, that's why a lot of these people making videos, they won't show themselves because they know they're ugly. You know? Todd Thunder Cocksucker is really the only ugly motherfucker that's willing to show his face. So, we know you're not physically attractive because you're hiding your appearance for a reason. But you have the voice of a weak bitch. You talk like a complete faggot. Yeah. You sound like a complete beta bitch, bro. And you have the personality of a piece of wood. So, clearly there's nothing very attractive about you. And the thing that always pissed me off was I would get rejected by these women that are way less attractive than me. And I mean, they're both physically attractive and they have the personality of a turnip. You know, completely boring, completely unintelligent, nothing even redeemable or interesting or unique about them in any way. They pretty much just have some fucking retail or secretary job, and their only interests are TikTok and celebrity gossip and reality TV. You know, they don't have a clue what's going on in the world. You know, dumb as a pile of rocks. And I'm better looking than them. I have way more going on for me than they do. You know, I forgot to mention, I'm a fighter too. I'm a boxer. I'm an athlete. I'm in great shape. Yeah, I missed a few. hey, yeah, there's quite a few attractive things about me. I mean, that's what women say they're attracted to. That's what these fucking men who, you know, tell us we have to do X, Y, and Z to attract a woman say that you have to be. I am those things. You know, but you're going to try and say I'm not. But yeah, I get rejected by women that are way less attractive than me, both physically and as far as personality, and they're also awful people. You know, it's not like they're good people. It's not like they're nice. You know, and I happen to be a nice person. I'm not nice to assholes. When it comes to assholes, bullies, arrogant people, arrogant shitheads like you, yeah, I'm not nice. I put you in your place. Because people like you need to be knocked down a peg or two. Or 10. You know. But yeah, there's a lot attractive about me. There's not much attractive about you. And there sure as hell is really next to nothing attractive about these women. Pretty much the only thing they have to offer is pussy. And their looks. And that's about it. And the only thing they're interested in is having Chad Roan pound their fucking brains out. So, like, what is the point? You know? So, hopefully there's not much more of this video left to dissect, because, you know, these videos always end up being way too long because these guys talk so much shit. And they just lie so much. And there's so much I have to correct them on, because they're so fucking dishonest and scummy. You know, this guy's a real piece of shit. Fucking garbage human being. Complete fucking moron. Completely phony in everything that he tries to portray himself as. You know? A complete failure in every way. A complete fucking loser. And, you know, he's completely misrepresented what I'm saying. And, you know, again, another one of these people that's tried to characterize me as this whiny, weak bitch. And I'm getting sick and tired of you people trying to do that. Because it's so fucking obvious that I'm not. You know? So, yeah, let's see what else this cocksucker has to say.
He says also in the video, oh, you know, I can't relate to anyone. Well, if you can't relate to anyone, then how are you going to get dates? Are you stupid?
I can't relate to people because you normies are a bunch of brain-dead NPCs. You're all the same. You all think alike. You're all a fucking hive mind. Most of these normies, all they talk about is sports. You people are dumb and boring as fuck. I can't relate to these women because all they care about is TikTok and Instagram and what the fuck their favorite celebrity ate for breakfast. You know, I think about more important things in life. How to make the world a better place. The economy. The impact of this Orwellian government tyranny that we're facing. You know, of course I can't relate to people. To be relatable, I'd have to dumb myself down so much, and I really don't want to do that. I don't want to dumb myself down and sacrifice my character to be relatable to a bunch of brain-dead NPC morons. And to these incredibly shallow women. Like, fuck that.
You know, women are not just dating the guy who picks up the trash from the street. You know, I mean, she might date him, but he has to have something, there has to be a reason. They're not just dating guys for no reason. You know, there's no reason for a woman to date you. You know, because the biggest way a loser like you could get a woman is by being relatable, actually. Because there are losers who get women. But those women are dating those guys because they come across as relatable.
So now I'm someone who picks the trash up off the street. Bitch, by the time I was 18, I was a trained sound engineer. I had started my own independent record label. I've engineered in some of the top clubs in New York and London. I even did the soundtrack for some well-known animes. One of the ones I worked on was Brave Story. You know, I've worked in construction, I've built homes. I've done a lot of things like, you know, as much as this motherfucker's trying to portray me as like the lowest of the low, I would say somebody who picks the trash up off the street is a lot more valuable than you. They keep the streets clean. The fuck do you do? You just talk a bunch of shit on YouTube. You don't do anything. You're a fucking nobody. Yo, your faggy voice just makes me want to punch you in the face. I just want to bash your fucking nose into your face. Jesus Christ.
You know, they can relate to those guys. They can get on with those guys. You have too many baggage. You have too many problems. You know, and you project that. You walk around with that scowl on your face. Look at it, what we just see now, that scowl, that permanent scowl. You and that idiot Monday FA. Same. Walk around with that scowl on your face and then say, oh, women give me the meanest looks. You're giving women mean looks. You don't even understand your own facial expressions. What are you talking about? Look at this guy's videos, look at his facial expressions. He's always got this scowl on his face. What are you so angry about? You're angry about the fact that you ain't done nothing in 10 years. Well, guess what, bitch? That's your fault.
Alright, so... See, this is what I can't stand about these guys. Like, they talk so reckless on the internet with their face hidden. Cause he never called me a bitch to my face. I guarantee that. So, you know, another one of these cocksuckers trying to make me out to be some weak, whiny little bitch, you know, when I'm actually a really strong, resilient individual. You know, I've been through some tough shit that this motherfucker would never even survive. Like, he would be hanging from a rope if he had to go through any of the shit that I've gone through. You know what I'm saying? Like, this dude's a fucking straight up bitch. You don't know what he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? And like, he's just one of these people, right? He's a complete fucking loser. You know, if he was any kind of successful person, you know, he'd be out there being successful, not following around incels on YouTube, you know, putting them down and bashing them for an ego boost. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, he says all this shit. Oh, you're never going to get out of this situation. You know, apparently I'm going to die in this situation. Well, guess what, cocksucker? I got out of the situation, faggot. Stupid bitch. Because I was working hard. And I almost didn't make it out of this situation, but it wasn't because I was lazy. It wasn't because I wasn't putting in any work or trying, you stupid motherfucker. You fucking dumbass. It's because sometimes you can try your hardest and keep failing because you have terrible luck. Yeah. You don't understand that a lot of your situation is just pure fucking luck. And you're sucking your own dick thinking that you really did something. A lot of your situation is pure fucking luck. You were born into a stable socioeconomic background. You know, had a stable family. And had resources at your disposal. And you were able to, you know, get through life and learn the necessary skills you need to, you know, be financially stable. Not everybody has those opportunities. See, this is one of those fucking cocksuckers that thinks that everybody who's not Elon Musk is lazy. You know, if you're poor, you're lazy. If you fall on hard times, it's just because you're lazy and you didn't try hard enough. You see people like this in the comments, talking about homeless people, you know, because they think that anybody who's homeless is lazy and didn't try hard enough, or they were on drugs or something like that, and they don't realize you could have just been living paycheck to paycheck and not have any family to fall back on. And if you lose your job, you know, while you're trying to get through school, trying to get an education, and a lot of the times school isn't worth shit anyway. These degrees are fucking useless. But anyways, right? You could easily end up being homeless, not have any family to fall back on. You know, you could get sick. Your family could be dead. You know what I'm saying? Your parents could be dead. You might have nowhere to turn. Your family could be dysfunctional and toxic, drug addicts, and they won't help you. You know what I mean? All kinds of things. And that's just one aspect of it. That's just being homeless. There's all kinds of fucked up outside forces that can really destroy your life. So he says it's my fault. Like, you don't know shit, bitch. You don't know shit about the things that I've been through and how hard I've worked to try to better myself, to try to get myself out of these situations, you know. And like, you know, I have skills. I can take apart a whole fucking recording studio, a mixing desk and everything, you know, compressors, reverbs, and rewire the whole thing. Like, that's a highly skilled position. You know, I have skills. This motherfucker couldn't do that. Let's see this motherfucker mix down a track. You know, let's see this motherfucker do any of the things I can do. Because again, this is one of these people that thinks, you know, unless you go down that one narrow path, that's the only path that is respectable in his eyes, to be this fucking faggot ass, fake ass, you know, Wolf of Wall Street type character, then you're a loser, you know? And he just seems to think that, and he's a male feminist too, make no mistake about this, and I'll tell you why, right? He can fucking say that he criticizes feminists as much as he wants, but that's bullshit. That's bullshit, because it doesn't matter. Because he's still one of these guys that's telling guys that they have to reach for the stars and become a fucking millionaire. Become Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, to get an average woman. To get an average woman. The only thing you should be saying, motherfucker, is telling average women to have realistic standards and be happy with average guys. You fucking male feminist bitch. Yeah, Kevin Samuels got it right. Kevin Samuels got it right. Because the fucking problem with these average women is they all feel entitled to high value men, right? And you're sitting there calling me entitled. Because I expect my hard work and sacrifices to pay off. Now, meanwhile, you know, I bring all these things to the table, and these women bring nothing to the table. They live with their parents. They can't even hold a conversation. They have a mountain of debt. Some, you know, average job, just like us. Just like us guys. But they expect a high value man. They're entitled to high value men. But guys like you don't say shit. Instead, you shame us men, you know, for being working class, for being average. Because being a working class guy makes you a loser in your eyes, you fucking piece of shit. You know? Like, as if everybody can become the fucking CEO. Alright? Now let me tell you something. Because you're obviously not smart enough to figure this out yourself. There can't be a million CEOs and no workers. There's got to be people to run the machines, to drive the trucks, to operate on the factory lines, to build homes. And that's another thing. I've built homes. What the fuck have you done, you worthless bitch? If anything, what I'm doing is much more beneficial to society than anything you've ever done. You know? Like, what the fuck do you even do? He never says what he does either. I've watched his videos and everything, right? He just fucking calls guys losers and tells them what they didn't do. You didn't do enough. You didn't work hard enough. That's all this motherfucker says. You know? He doesn't in any practical way explain what maybe guys should be doing to be successful. You know, that would help anybody in any kind of a way. Because he doesn't know. Because he hasn't actually done shit himself. He's a fucking phony. He's a liar. He's just following incels around on YouTube, you know, to shame them and put them down for an ego boost. That's it. That's all he's doing. And bro, you're a straight bitch. Like, you talking all that shit, you wouldn't say any of that to my face. I'd beat the brakes off of you. I'd fucking humiliate you. I'd bust up your face, have you all fucking leaking, bleeding all over the place, panicking and begging me to stop. I'd knock you the fuck out and stomp on your fucking face while you're on the ground. For real though. If you feel some type of way, then you could pull up too. I don't know what country you're in, but feel free. I mean, these cocksuckers here, even the ones locally to me, they don't want to pull up. Fucking cowards. You know, they want to talk shit behind their keyboards. Talk all that tough shit behind their keyboards. And none of you motherfuckers saying shit to my face. Fucking cowards. Yeah. Well, he's one of these people that's just completely shallow, materialistic, has this incredibly narrow and small-minded view of the world. There's this whole wide fucking universe out there beyond money, beyond crunching numbers in some fucking cubicle, beyond just the numbers on a fucking spreadsheet or whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's philosophy, poetry, music, art, nature, the fucking stars and constellations above. You know what I'm saying? Like, he tries to make me out to be some low-life loser and everything. Bitch, I'm a trained sound engineer. I was a volunteer firefighter. Done mad volunteer work too. I'm an artist. You know, I can mix and master music. I'm a boxer, MMA fighter. Yeah, man. I could beat your fucking ass. And he's talking all this shit about fighting. You know, he's not willing to fight. You know, just trying to make me out to be this fucking weakling, this pathetic weak guy. Even though I've been through shit that you'd have to be incredibly both physically and mentally strong to survive. You know? Shit that this pussy ass bitch never been through. And you can tell. Because he doesn't understand. He really doesn't understand the fundamentals of how things can really fuck you up in life and traumatize you. You know, not only just the things that can destroy your career and financial stability, you know, and there's nothing you can do. These are things that are out of your control, you know. And of course, sure, you can do your best to get, you know, pull yourself up, get back on your feet, and bounce back. But there's not a guarantee that, you know, you'll ever really be successful as hard as you try. It's like a lot of it is luck. A lot of it is having opportunities. A lot of it is who you know, knowing the right people that can open doors for you. You know, he's never been in a situation in a position in life where there were no doors open for him, where every door was slammed shut in his face. You know, he just assumes that whatever his life was like, it's like that for everybody else, and we're just not trying. No, you fucking bitch. You dumb bitch. And he doesn't know anything about trauma. He's never been through any real trauma, you can tell, because he says stuff like, oh, you're just playing the victim. You have a victim complex. And everything like, yo, that's some straight up bitch-made shit. Coming from a person who lived a sheltered life, who doesn't know the harsh realities that can traumatize you, leave you with PTSD, you know, have you struggling to get out of bed in the morning, you know. He doesn't realize it's a fight for a guy like me to just get out of bed in the morning. And you know, regardless of how much a struggle that is, I get my ass up and I have overcome everything, every obstacle in my way, every tragedy, every soul-crushing tragedy, disadvantage in my life. I have overcome those things and I have persevered and I'm now doing well for myself. You know, I have women hitting on me all the time. I have women sliding in my DMs on Instagram every day, you know, trying to hit me up. Oh, I got the receipts for that too. You guys want me to start putting those out? I'll make you. Don't make me make you fucking incels mad, because I will. I will. Oh, because I got the receipts. Oh, and you can bet that you'll see them. Yeah, so, you know, what are you going to say now, bitch? I thought I was going to die in this situation. I got a beautiful woman. You know, I got an amazing woman. And these fucking pathetic losers are trying to say that she's a scam artist or, you know, all this dumb shit, even though she doesn't ask for any money. I know her very well. I know her character very well. You know, this is a person who cares deeply about me, as I do for her. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, they always try to make me out to be some fucking loser, low-life scumbag that's not good enough for a woman. You know, oh, these women reject you because you're a piece of shit. And yet I have a really good woman who loves me to death. Just like I was married to one. You know, just like even my first relationship, even though that was a bit rocky, she didn't always treat me very well. She still speaks very highly of me. You know, where the fuck are your receipts, clown, loser? I bet you won't see any receipts from this guy, you know. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I've done much better than this clown ever has, you know. So yeah, I think that's it. It's a wrap. He just... How many times you gonna make me destroy you people? Y'all people got nothing. I humiliate and embarrass you every time. Nothing you say about me is true. You know, all y'all can do is come with a bunch of fucking lies about me. You know, and it's always the same fucking thing. You're so predictable. Oh, you're a lowlife, a loser. You're playing the victim. You have a victim complex. All this bullshit. Y'all are just NPCs. You got no fucking original ideas. You got nothing on me. You know, anyways, I guess that's pretty much it for this fucking cocksucker. You know. Anyways, because this video is way too long anyway. I hate this shit because y'all always tell way too many fucking lies, and I end up making these long ass videos. You know, I never have time to respond to a lot of these people. That's why it took me so long to get back to this fucking piece of shit. But yeah, you know, I'm out of here. Oh, and I just want to say, like, one last thing is, like, you know, he shames people for being average, the blue-collar working class people, you know. But most people are average. Most people are average. You know what I'm saying? Most people make around $50,000 a year. You know what I'm saying? He is saying that every guy has to be in the top 1%, you know, because only even 1% of men, around 1% of men, I don't have the exact figure, but it's something like that. Only 1% of men even make over $300,000 a year. You know what I'm saying? So You know, we're supposed to all be millionaires just to get a woman, just to get an average woman who doesn't bring, and he's not even telling these women they have to be high value. He's not saying shit to these women. It's just fucking, these guys, absolute male feminist bitch, pathetic fucking coward, you know, having the nerve to try to drag me through the dirt, drag my image through the dirt, you know, and talk about my struggles like you don't know shit, you fucking pussy ass bitch, you fucking coward. I will smack the shit out of you. Yo, in person, you would fucking have, yo, you wouldn't say none of that shit to my face. I'll smack the shit out of you. I'll beat the dog shit out of you, pussy. Fuck out of here. You fucking lame ass beta bitch. Anyways, I'm out of here.